Oh, hi! This week, I'm going to show you guys a cool technique I learned at work, and we're going to apply it by adding a little lace triangle panel to the back of this shirt. This will be a good project if you have a shirt that's too small for you. Though it isn't really going to add much to the chest. I am small chested, so this isn't an issue with this shirt, but it does hug my tummy a little too tight. Curse my slowing metabolism. Here's what you need. For anyone keeping track of my filming times lately, it is 5 a.m. This is the lace I'm going to use. You're going to need a shirt and just a regular sewing machine. I'm sure you could also do this by hand. Let's do the thing. I ironed out my t-shirt. Good God, what have I become? And I need it to be right sides out. And since I'm sure I didn't list all the tools a minute ago, take the scissors I need. Ooh, I got fancy new scissors for my birthday. Ooh, and I got new glasses. You guys haven't seen these yet because the first video I wore them in is not going particularly well, so that's going to take some time to get out. I just thought it was going to be much easier in small scale, but it's not the case. I'm going to lay down my shirt right sides out, and I'm adding to the back, so I'm going to lay it face down. I'm just going to kind of eyeball the center of the bottom hem, and I'm going to cut up kind of right under where my bra is. Definitely almost just touch the iron with my arm while it's on. So yeah, just cutting up in a fairly straight line. Now we have a slit, and if you stretch it out, it looks like a triangle. Great. We're learning our shapes. So now I'm going to lay out some of this lace. I guess I could do this on my actual cutting mat. I need a big cutting table. Maybe that can be a project. I just want to build one that'll like fold down. What are those? Murphy beds? Is that what those are called? My thinky brain is going. Gotta ride this wave. Okay, so I'm going to lay this out. I'm going to give it a little extra space along the bottom, so I'm not going to put this end point where I stopped cutting right against the edge. I'm going to move it in a little bit just to give myself enough wiggle room. It's better for this to be bigger than too small. And yeah, just going to kind of eyeball the size I need. And the wider you make this triangle, that's obviously going to make your shirt wider also. What I should have done just now is fold it over and match it. But it's fine. It's just a band t-shirt I never wear anymore. I don't know if I want the lace to be straight or if I want it to swoop down a little bit. I think I want it to go straight across. But what you could do if you had a nice long shirt or a shirt that has like a curved bottom hem, you could also swoop the lace. I feel like swoop the lace should be a fighting term, like sweep the leg. Although what would that mean in a fighting context, swoop the lace? Okay, pals, we have our triangle. So now it's time to sew it in. It's gonna take 2 rounds of stitching, and you're gonna have to scooch right up on the machine with me to see what the fuck I'm doing. Again, don't burn yourself on your own iron, just scoot that out of the way. Come over here and hang out. Hi, how are you? You smell nice. So as with pretty much everything, we gotta go right sides together, but we have to go with this side up this way, and then that flips over. Yeah, okay. So my shirt's right side out, and you're gonna have to lay it like this. So all the lace is hanging over to the left side of the shirt, and we're gonna go from the top edge to the corner point. And every time she makes a point, I make a corner point. It's a little catch-22 reference for you. I'm gonna do small stitches, so like a 2.5, I guess. Normally I try to sew without all the shit bunched up under here, but since I already told you to go this direction and this isn't a ton of fabric to be dealing with, it'll be fine. But normally try to sew with all your shit over here. That's why it's open on this side. I'm just kind of sewing to the edge of my foot here. So I stitched and then back stitched, which is how you should start pretty much everything and end everything. I'm just gonna make sure this isn't rolling under itself because the shirt is a knit. And also try not to stretch this as you're going. Okay, so now we're getting to the corner right here. Like this is the top of the triangle. So what you want to do as you get to this point, you want to start to narrow your seam allowance. So I started at the edge of the foot, so I'm kind of bringing the stitches really close to the edge, where before it was in a little bit, we're just going very close, but make sure you're still catching both layers. I'm gonna stop right at the corner. I should have marked this with a pin. Feel free to mark it with a pin. Feel free to pin all of this. I've started going rogue. My needle is down. I'm at the very center point. I'm gonna lift the presser foot up. Keep your needle in there though. This is the thinky part. I gotta flip this over, but you gotta kind of swoop all that stuff that way. So I think I gotta come around this direction. Yep, okay. So you're just making sure you're still keeping right sides together. And again, I should have had everything facing out this way, started on the other side. And I do have my excess here, so my point on the lace triangle is gonna be different, but it's fine. I'm still just gonna kind of ease it up so everything will keep straight, if that made any sense. This part will be easier if you have a solid color. All of this will be easier if you have a solid color. And just to clear some confusion, I'll cut this away. Again, making sure this isn't rolling over on itself. And hard part's over once you get all this flipped around. We're just going in a straight line. Don't get your threads looped around your presser foot or your machine's gonna get angry. Fine, everything's great. This is going perfectly. Again, back stitching at the end. And then we can take everything off. Ta-da! Okay, so we're not completely done. Okay, so I have my shirt inside out. Now that the first round of stitching is done, I'm gonna iron the seam allowance to one side. And because this is lace, I don't want it to show, so I'm going to push the seam allowance to the shirt side. I guess for the top stitching, to have the most structural integrity, you want to put it to the shirt side anyway, even if it's a solid color that no one's going to see through. And this is where you can decide whether or not you want to hem this. This is a non-fraying lace, so I'm just going to try to cut it in a straight line. So I was hoping for this point up here to be a little more pointy. If I had pinned that top point and executed it a little smoother, it'd probably look nicer, but hey, what can you do? You can be better at sewing is what you can do. Also, this is a knit. I feel like it'd be easier to get a sharper point here if you were working with woven fabrics, just because you can get like a nice crease right there. Thankfully, we're on the last step. We're gonna top stitch. And I'm doing teeny tiny stitches. I want to keep it close to the edge because that's gonna make it look nicer, but also make sure you can probably feel where the stitches are, like where the seam allowance is, but just make sure you're catching it underneath, because that's kind of what the top stitching is for, is to keep everything to one side where you pressed it underneath. And anytime you're turning corners, you leave your needle down, lift your presser foot. Shit yeah, my friends. And now we have a finished product. Let's try it on. Hey, we have a shirt. I feel like this is a really good like summer shirt. I did go a little too high, but yeah, I like how this came out. Okay, we did the damn thing. How's everybody feeling about it? Well, if you would like to see more sometimes helpful sewing videos, sometimes just weird drunken madness, you can go ahead and subscribe up here. I post new videos every week, sometimes twice a week, even though I haven't hit my Patreon goal. Speaking of Patreon, if you would like to regularly see 2 videos a week, you can go ahead and help me hit my next goal up in this corner. I'm so far away from it, and I'll put a video somewhere here of another shirt I made with lace, even though I fucking lost that shirt and it makes me really sad. Can you call your own mom a motherfucker?